So today we're going to be talking about a movie that they released a trailer yesterday morning, and it threw me for a loop because one, I didn't expect certain actors to be in it, and two, I'm pretty freaking excited, especially when the day it comes out. I'm just excited, man. And so honestly, for those of you who don't know, I am referring to this movie, Young Washington, which is a movie, of course, obviously about George Washington. I mean, you can kind of tell what it's about based on this first look right here. But yeah, no, overall, I'm pretty freaking excited for this. So right now we're just gonna shush up and just give it a watch because, and FYI, I've already seen this. I have already seen this, and so this isn't a reaction. I just want to talk about this because this is genuinely something I'm excited for. And I think more people need to talk about because, well, one, Angel Studios is great. So yeah, we're just gonna give this a watch right now.
What happened, Washington? All those bullet holes in your jacket?
Yes, for FYI, right here. This is, like I said, this isn't a trailer reaction. Ben Kingsley. This guy. This guy right here. I was not expecting him to be in this movie at all. I was fucking it threw me off because one, he's a good freaking actor. He's a really good actor, and I loved him in Ender's Game was like the first movie I recognized him in. Which honestly, underrated movie there and but yeah, no, he looked good. Like he looks good in this. I was blown away by it. So yeah, and like I said, this isn't a trailer reaction. This is a discussion, a full blown discussion. I'm not reacting to trailer. I've already seen it. If you guys want to watch it, I will link in the description because this is a good trailer. I'm actually pretty excited for this movie. But anyway, like I said, thrown off for a loop, and so far everything looks good. Even 6 seconds in, the visual effects, the audio cues, and all that. And yet, this is what trailers are supposed to do. They're supposed to give you a feel of the movie.
In your jacket? How are you alive? I don't know.
You have no military service.
See right here, the props look good. The outfits look good. Right here, like perfect example. None of this looks like hyper CGI'd like current Hollywood movies. Right here,
You
the outfits here, and will I could get a better work. Like the carriages, tents, all the props here look pretty good. They look pretty high quality here, and I have to admit, I'm pretty freaking I'm pleased by what it looks like so far, and I love like the atmosphere that's being set up with this trailer. So far it looks good,
have no military
and
service.
right there.
You are a boy.
From the creator of wait. From the creator of House of David and American Underdog. I hear House of David was actually pretty good. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. Let me know. Let me know if that show was good, guys.
Boy.
Oh, that shot alone. That shot alone right here. Oh, I like that shot. That looked nice. It's nothing crazy or mind blowing. The camera panning down slightly and turning to the right. It works, and you just see. I'm assuming is young Washington, riding a horse on this trail, and it looks exciting, and it's man, right here. There's like it's simple. It doesn't look CGI. It doesn't look fake. And that's what's nice about this. It doesn't look fake. It looks real, and it's likely because this is a real shot, real forest, a real trail, a real horse, and the real actor riding on the horse. which is what makes movies honestly so much better. Is the realism, the like not just looking real, but feeling real.
You are not British, yet they send you to speak for them. So that when you fail, they'll have someone to blame.
Young Washington, you lost in the new world.
Also, you guys wondering who that is? That's fucking Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is also in this, which is just threw me for a loop too. Like I said, I was thrown off by the casting, and there's still more people in this that this threw me for a loop. And one, when I first watched Angel Studios projects, I was introduced to them through The Chosen. I watched The Chosen. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was good, and I still think it's good. It's not their best by any means, but it really did introduce me to Angel Studios, and I think introduced a lot of people. But like I said, when I saw Andy Serkis in this, I thought back immediately when I was like, okay, holy crap, because I watched their Sound of Freedom movies, and I watched a few other their projects, and this just drew me for a loop. And I knew they had bigger, like they had Oscar Isaac and other actors in their movies and all that. So it did throw me for a loop, but I wasn't fully surprised. But seeing Ben Kingsley and Andy Serkis in this, it drew me for a loop.
Lost in the new world.
Who does own this land, if not the one who has the will to tame it?
Ooh.
You do not want to start a war.
What do we do? We fight!
Wait. Holy she's in this too? I recognize her. She played the mother in I think Spiderwick Chronicles. Hold on, 2008 film. Mary Louise Parker. Yeah, it says Mary Louise Parker. I didn't know she was in this. That's another person I didn't realize was in this. Holy crap, that's actually kind of cool. I know she's been in other stuff, but like I recognize her from Spiderwick Chronicles, and yes, that's a more obscure movie that people don't talk about anymore. But man, like I'm gonna talk about that. She's a good actress. So yeah, like wow. Okay, hello. Kelsey Grammer was also another one I did not ever expect to see in this movie, and I know he's a very outspoken conservative. He's very patriotic and he loves America. But again, I did not expect to see him in this. I'm not complaining because I absolutely love him as an actor. I loved him specifically in Down Periscope. That was such a fun movie and such a good movie. Yeah, no, like I was saying. Sorry, I did not expect to see Kelsey Grammer in this, and I like I said, I love him in Down Periscope, which was a fun movie. But and for those of you who have not seen it, you got to watch it. It's a fun movie. It's an older movie, of course. Like it's an older movie, and yes, I know I'm Gen Z, so me knowing the movie Down Periscope is probably shocking. Like I also know Police Academy, MASH, Gilligan's Island, Hogan's Heroes. Don't get me started on Hogan's Heroes. I fucking love that show. But yeah, so Kelsey Grammer being in this is actually really awesome. I love to see him in more roles. So like I'm pleased with this. So of course, it's awesome.
Hold your ground! There is no retreat!
What are you called?
My name is George Washington.
So Young Washington is what it's called, in theaters July 3rd, 2026. Which I'm gonna point this out. That's genius. That's probably the only right decision right there, is to make it an Independence Day movie, because it's about the first president of the United States. And I trust Angel Studios with this. I do. I genuinely, actually, fully trust them with this project. I think they're going to do a great job with it. I'm far more confident that in their vision for this movie than I would be if Hollywood were to make it. Because if Hollywood were to make it, they'd wokeify it, they'd progressify it, and they wouldn't stay true to the history. They'd make George Washington a coward. They'd make him. They wouldn't include the fact that, like, God was definitely working in his life. Was absolutely working in his life. First of all, like, there's a moment in history where Washington was his jacket and his cloak was shot up. Even he was shot in the chest, but something stopped the bullet, and it was I believe I don't know what the specific item was, but it stopped the bullet from killing him. In fact, it stopped it from injuring him. He was shot, like, I think 11 or 14 times, and he had holes across his entire jacket, his entire coat, his entire cloak, and he did not even get a scratch on him from any of those. And people were speechless. And to me, I believe wholeheartedly that was the work of God. And people are like, oh, why are you making this religious? Because the founding of America was heavily religious, and heavily God's hand was heavily involved. God was heavily involved in the founding of America, which is amazing. But of course, this is coming out on the 250th anniversary of the United States, the 250th birthday of the United States next year, and I'm excited. I think this is a perfect time to make a movie and release it like this. I can't wait to see what this movie is, and I'm excited because I've been wanting a movie like this for so long, like wanting a movie about Washington, about the founding of America, about our founding fathers, to one, to dispel all these myths about them being old, and specifically, I know this is about young Washington. But here's the annoying part: people say the founder was a bunch of old white men. I'm 23. My current age, I am older than multiple founding fathers when they wrote or signed the Declaration of Independence. Just saying. Also, yeah, it's crazy, right? That's kind of a wild thing for me to accept. I'm like, holy crap! At my current age, because everyone always says they're old men. They were old men and all that who founded the country. I'm like, no, they weren't when the Declaration of Independence was written. But yeah, no, it's great.
Help us make this.
And I think this. I want, like I said, help us make this the #1 movie on America's 250th. You can pre-order tickets at angelstudios.com/250, which I will be linking in the description because, like, Disney, I want this movie to succeed.
Yes, the #1 movie on America's 250th. Pre-order tickets at angel.com/250. Exclusively in theaters July 3rd.
Yep, as you hear it there, exclusively in theaters July 3rd. I can't wait for this. I think this is going to be a great time in theaters, and of course, like, I do love historical flicks, and I know people didn't like the Abraham Lincoln movie that came out, or the I know people didn't like the Abraham Lincoln movie that didn't come out that came out where the actor looked like Abraham Lincoln, which is kind of trippy. But yeah, I like that movie. I like movies like that. I think history is a very, very cool subject. I think it's one of the coolest subjects. In and I initially didn't like it in high school because I don't like the whole setting of of school where you have to sit in one spot and learn a like you don't get to really choose what you learn. And I get some of the points of like history class and all that. They want a curriculum and all that to follow. But the issue is like there's so many things about the founding of the United States that get completely ignored in the founding, like the founding of America. How they say it was a bunch of old racists and all that, and America was built on racism and all that. That's not objectively not true, considering the first drafts of the Declaration of Independence, which was signed by 11 of 13 colonies. Guess what? 11 of 13 colonies fought to end slavery. But 2 colonies, I believe it was North Carolina and Louisiana, I believe, were the 2 colonies which I believe it was those 2 that were actively fighting for slavery. The rest, voted against it and were willing to vote against it. But those 2 did not. They did not buckle at all. They refused, and it sucks because people say, "Well, that that's proof." I'm like, "Well, no, it's because they had a common enemy, a bigger enemy, a stronger enemy, an enemy who had more ground, more people, more soldiers, more weapons, and more budget. They had the advantage in almost every aspect, which was Great Britain. Britain had the advantage. They had the power. They had the resources to win this war. And the founders understood that if America was divided and they did not unify as one nation, they would lose the war. So they, despite most of them not agreeing on slavery, reluctantly had to put that aside for the time being so they could win a war so that they could then tackle the issue once they won the war. And there was no guarantee that they'd win, but they still fought. They still fought, and they were at a disadvantage every step of the way. And they still won. That shows the resilience of the American people and the resilience of the founders and the soldiers who fought. And keep in mind, there were kids, teenagers, and preteens fighting in these wars, and they had more resilience and more bravery and more dedication and determination to fight for their country than most people my age today. But here's the crazy part. And yes, I know it's getting a kind of historical lesson. But yeah, I think this is a very, very apt subject. I can't wait to see this movie. I want to watch it. I think it's really exciting to see movies like this. The founding is so misunderstood in so many ways. The founding of the United States is so misunderstood, and like I'm completely in awe that when I sat down and I started reading the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Articles of Confederation, and so much more, and reading historical documents like the Federalist Papers, and because the Federalist Papers really give you a deep understanding of the founding fathers. And people don't talk about this. The first anti-slavery rally was held in 1775. America was very much not a racist nation. In fact, it was built by people who wanted to end slavery. Thomas Jefferson himself wanted to end it, and he was passionate about ending it. He even recited and referenced the Christian God multiple times as his justification for ending slavery, for wanting to end it. It's just, like I said, the founding is so misunderstood and so intentionally misconstrued, and it's kind of sad. It's why I've lost so much faith in the school system, is because they don't want to teach us stuff. There's so much stuff about the United States history that is left out of schools, of school curriculums, and people sit here and say, "Well, it's probably because they've been debunked by historians." No, they haven't. Many of these stories have not been debunked. In fact, have been proven to be true. And I mean, in kindergarten, we're taught that like so many white lies and fairy tales about history, and all that. But absolutely nobody talks about those. But these pieces of information that would make America look a lot better of a country aren't talked about. And like my personal opinion is, I don't think there should be a federal school system or school Department of Education. I think should be completely abolished. I think education should be done on a state by state basis for like school curriculums and all that should be done state by state. And I think homeschooling should be encouraged. Does that mean that I think every parent should just, bring their kids home, let the iPads babysit their kids, and then teach them absolutely nothing? I think, you should have a curriculum at home. You should. And I'm not saying it should be enforced. I'm just saying you should have a curriculum. You should have, and FYI, homeschooling, you should not keep your kids at home at all times. You should have even if it's community driven schools, like small community driven schools, like neighborhood of parents put their kids together and they teach them, math, science, history, politics, and all that stuff. And so those kids have communication, and then the community, the little neighborhood, could gather up and like not federally funded schools, but like just if the neighborhood wants to do this stuff, that's fine. I think it'd be fine. In fact, I think it'd be encouraged because it builds community. It would build a stronger community ultimately because these kids and these parents know each other and they trust and love each other and all that. And by love, I don't mean like romantically. I mean like as friends and family and all that stuff. But yeah, no, overall, I can go on this subject for hours. But let me know if you guys are actually excited for this Young Washington movie, because I am. I'm more than excited for it. I am absolutely going to see this when it comes out. I think it's going to be a great movie, and I think there's a lot of facts of history that need to be taught. So let me know what you guys think about this in comments below. Like and subscribe and share on your preferred social media platform. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless and peace.